love the kid.
Yeah. Listen, we're still waiting to see if Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Aries are going to be the team out of the West for the NBA Finals. But we know for a fact the New York Knicks will play in the Finals for the first time in 27 years. Finals begin June 3rd with Game 1 on ABC.
They got the Knicks playing both teams.
They
That's how
do.
y'all feel?
That's what's happening right now.
We got to play both teams?
That's how well y'all playing, boy.
So, 11 straight wins.
What would you need
You're
from me?
back in the Finals.
Okay.
Carmelo Anthony, how
Yes,
do you
ma'am.
feel?
How you really feel?
I
Tell us
feel
how you really
amazing. I'm going to be honest. I feel amazing. I don't think the city, New York City, the state have felt this energy, again, since 99. Everybody, and even further than that, this series goes out to all the elders that's been rocking with the New York Knicks since the 60s and the 70s, who's been season ticket holders for 50 years. This is for you guys, man. What the Knicks did, they advanced, obviously, to the NBA Finals. It's been an incredible story. From a basketball standpoint, they've been playing the best basketball over the last month. And you got to take your hat off to the Knicks. Man, they did it. The plan worked. The strategy worked. There was some ups and downs. There were some players that was trying to figure it out. Coaches changes trying to figure it out. The Knicks figured it out. They got about 5-6 days rest to play both of them teams. They said we got to play both of them.
I think the biggest shift for the Knicks, in my opinion, was Coach Mike Brown, his willingness to change the offense for the good of the team, more so for Cat. Once he unlocked Cat, it unlocked Mikal Bridges. It unlocked their offense. And the great thing about it, JB was, Brunson was still able to score like he normally does, but now he got some help, and he didn't have to take the load of just making it happen all the time. Now they play through Cat. JB getting the ball on the second time. Now that's a scary sight when he has the ball with a live dribble. So great things happen. Shout out to Mike Brown for that adjustment and making things happen for the good of their team.
I'm excited about the Knicks being in the finals. This is a long time coming, and I just know the energy, the excitement, the entertainment that they bring, the fandom. The Knicks fandom is going crazy. I love everything about this. The Knicks going crazy on the road, in the streets. Anytime you run into a Knicks fan, boy, I tell you, they got a smile on their face, and the energy is just different with these guys. But I love every bit of. I love seeing all the former players come back, travel on the road, being in the Garden, sitting courtside, just being, a part of everything that the Knicks have really just igniting the city. And for me, it's just I can't wait to watch this series. Regardless of who they play, it's going to be a fun series. So shout out to the Knicks, man, and their crazy fans. I love seeing all of it.
There was actually a crazy fan in here. Do you see one yelling at Melo talking? It's always been New York. I'm like, are we in OKC?
He's scouting. He's coming to scout.
Scouting. I think he was.
He's coming to scout.
He was in the building
to
scouting.
see the atmosphere.
Yeah. So the Knicks looking for their first title in 53 years. Even Vince wasn't alive then. Like, no one on the podium was alive at that time.
Oh, man.
Come on back,
we
Vince.
really come back. We got to finish the show.
That's because he's the oldest at the table.
Yeah,
We got to finish the show, VC.
Come on.
Look at my man right there. He pissed off. Look at him. He's ready to go home.
What us to get up out of here?
Adam, are you saying we can leave now, or no, you want to talk a little bit more about the Knicks? We appreciate you guys for joining us here for NBA Showtime Game 5. We've given you everything we got. We interviewed Aries.
Yes.
We took you to the podium.
Yes.
And we did a great job breaking down
Chet joined us.
what we saw from Wemby. Tracy McGrady here with you. Chet, let's get into it. This was your best game of the series. We're happy to have you back on the show, but tell us why.
Why I'm here or why you're happy to see me?
No, why it's the best.
We definitely happy to see you.
I feel like
He's tired.
I got you. Right, it's game 5 now.
yeah, I'm zoned out now.
All good.
But I think just being able to watch the tape and then find spots to be aggressive and then going out and being aggressive, trusting the work, and then we saw tonight good things happen.
With Wemby being on the other side, you yourself being an elite player in this league, two tall, lanky, elite players, young players. Do you look at this as a great big man matchup that will be rivalry for years to come?
Yeah, I mean, the way I see it, when you're in it, you have to look at it as, Thunder versus Spurs. We're trying to win these games. They're trying to win these games. That's how you have to attack it. And, they have a really good team. We have a really good team. You guys know things are fragile in the NBA, but, we're going to try and keep this thing going as long as we can. I'm sure they are too. So, I'm sure that means we're going to cross paths a lot.
social media is what it is. It's easier today to hear all of the talk. But for you, you made your first couple of shots. Did that settle you in? Did that lock you in? Did it kind of make you now feel like you're aggressive? How was it once you see a couple of shots go in early in this game?
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to see a couple go down early. I felt like it helped me get a good rhythm. I just got to keep it flowing from there.
What did you tell yourself within the last 48 hours? Because that wasn't an adjustment like for me. That was like a mindset shift when it comes to how you approach this game tonight. What was you telling yourself within the last 48 hours?
Yeah, just I'd say the biggest thing is just being aggressive. This is a really good team, and obviously, they have a very different defense than any other team that you see. So, what you're doing all regular season and stuff, a lot of that stuff goes out the window. So, you're not going to have a great rhythm going into stuff. So it's just about being aggressive. When you play hard and throughout the game, you're going to get cracks. So you just got to take advantage of them.
I have a question just in general. The last time we talked to you, it was ring night, and we were here and we were celebrating, and you guys are defending champs. And I'm just thinking about the mental fortitude you have to even make it back here. You guys had a couple of sweeps. This is the biggest challenge you face. Like, what does it take? What does it require to continue down this path and continue to show up, get off the mat, respond? Like, how are you guys just having endurance throughout this season?
Yeah, I can't speak for everybody. I feel like we have a great team mindset around, never quitting no matter what happens. And, like you said, the endurance to do it, playing deep into the summer, short off season, and then right back to it. We have young legs for the most part, except for like maybe AC and a couple other guys. But, he does a great job of setting the tone for us. He's been there before us last year, and he kind of shares that knowledge with us, and we kind of just follow along.
I want to go into your mind. I want to go into your mindset. Before this series started, you had a phenomenal series against the Lakers. Your team has been phenomenal up until, game one of this series, when we put up 41 and 24. When you're coming off a series like that, and then you're looking ahead to the San Antonio Spurs and the challenges that they present, what is your mindset? What are you thinking, and how you want to attack that series?
Yeah, first of all, once you win the last series, all that goes out the window.
Sure.
We're not playing them anymore. You can take from certain aspects of the game and say, I'm going to learn from these situations, but at the end of the day, you're playing a whole new team, and you got to try and figure them out. So, you kind of switch modes from one team to the next. It's not a perfect game. Every time I work for a catch or every time I run the floor hard, it's basketball. The ball might go to the other side of the floor, somebody else might be open, somebody else might make a play. So, not letting missed opportunity become frustration, and just sticking with it.
One thing, Chet, when we were out on the court in San Antonio, they were still wiping your blood off of the backboard. So I just want to make sure you couldn't get it off. I thought you were going to lose it. It's okay.
No. It's not that bad.
Okay.
It's a little gash, but it's all right.
It don't look that great. Well, Chet, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
Y'all
you
can
so
close
much.
it out. Game 6
Keep
in
that
San
aggression,
Antonio.
Chet.
Yes, we will be there. We will be there. So Chet Holmgren has a double-double for the first time this series, which was bad news for the San Antonio Spurs and their head coach, Mitch Johnson, but he's stepping up to the podium now to answer questions.
Mitch, you guys were so good defensively in Game 4. What were the biggest breakdowns tonight? What disappointed you the most about this effort?
It just felt like it was a little bit of everything in terms of we did not put ourselves in position enough to be successful on each possession. And so to beat a team of this caliber in their building with what's the stakes will need to be a lot better to give yourself a chance.
Mitch, how would you describe kind of the start your team had, and particularly the second quarter when you gave up 40?
Yeah, just, again, there were a lot of things that we were just in wrong positions or wrong coverages or poor decisions, which I'll have to go back and look at the film. Just felt like in the moment we'd been making consistently in a straightforward manner. And again, on a game like tonight, you give yourself no chance if that's the level that you're going to play to consistently for the 48 minutes.
And just out of curiosity, did the officials give you any kind of explanation for why you weren't able to get that challenge in that you were looking for?
They just said they didn't see me.
Mitch, how did you think Victor played, and can you do more to get him going?
We're going to need to. He's got to take more than 15 shots, even with the free throws. And, yeah, he's going to have to score more than 20 points for sure. And
I'm sorry, is that his aggression or game plan or a combination of both?
Yeah, combination of both for sure. OKC did a good job. We got to do a better job. And that's, yeah, probably the easiest in terms of when you just surface level stuff, that he'll definitely need to take more shots. But there's a lot of things all over the place where even when we had advantages and we just didn't make simple plays that take advantage of the opportunity in that possession. And in this type of game, you got to be sure of everything you're doing in a very secure, mature way.
Coach, you often talk about not wanting to sacrifice the intensity of a stint. You'd rather sacrifice the length of it. At this point in the season, when, you want to have your best guys out there at all times, are you looking at ways to sort of create advantages or scheme for the exhaustion at all? Or is that something you're not looking at?
Like the game can be in the balance or really crucial part of the game, I guess. Whether you're making a run or the other team's making a run. And sometimes that can supersede the typical rotation or what you're trying to do. But, there's an understanding that if we want these guys to play a certain way, they have to be able to have energy to do it. And so sometimes you just got to make a gut call on that in terms of, what that means in the moment and playing certain guys and then what the return on that could be.
Coach, OKC and Shea were able to generate many free throws compared to Game 4. What was the reason for you? Do you think it was the poor decisions you were talking about in terms of discipline and defense?
Yeah, in the second quarter there for sure we had some times where, fouls or not, we need to be more aware of when we're in the bonus. And so, they got some free throws where they weren't in an advantage at that moment, or we weren't in a bad spot or out of position. And so you just got to understand, especially if you're on the perimeter and there's a lot of space around, the overly physical stuff, if you give the ref the opportunity to call it, and now someone gets free throws and didn't really have to work to get to that or get us in a spot where we were at a disadvantage, that's where numbers can get big for giving up points in a quarter.
So the Spurs find themselves at a disadvantage majority of this game. We'll start with Victor Wembanyama. You heard Mitch Johnson saying that he has to shoot more shots and he's got to score more than 20 ultimately. He had his lowest field goal percentage and he was actually negative in the -8 for the first time so far in this series. What happened? What did you notice, T-Mac? I'm going to start with you because you're leaning in and you're looking like this.
What's your question?
What happened?
What happened?
What happened?
What's wrong with what
I
happened
think
with
we're
Wemby?
all confused and trying to figure out what happened. This is Game 5, a pivotal game in this series, and 80% of the time, whoever wins this game goes on to win the series.
Yeah.
And for me, we talk about how amazing Wemby is on the basketball court on both ends. Well, we didn't see that tonight.
Yeah.
And it's very shocking because games 1 and 4, he was that. He was all of that. And when you coming into a game that what's at stake, I expected a legendary performance, a historical performance. And the first quarter, it just seems like he was tired. He was lethargic. He didn't have the energy that I possess or they possess that he should have and come out in a Game 5 with. I don't know what it was, but Game 6 has to be a different Wembanyama. And we talked about last game of having more than 15 shots. Yeah. Well, he had that in, the first half, right? Tonight, really? 15 shots
4 for
only,
15.
4 for
Yeah.
15. There should never be a time where he has 15 shots in this type of game. He has to dominate the paint. He has to live in the paint because that's where he collapses the shell. Just by starting down there, he's collapsing the shell, and it's opening things up for his teammates, and that didn't happen tonight.
Wemby, from the beginning of the game, warm-ups, looked to me like he was just going through the motions. He didn't have his same pop that he usually had before the game, pregame. He running up and down the court doing his pregame workout. He just looked a step behind tonight. And it showed in the game. Early in the game, he was trying to find his way. He was always one step behind on the rebound, on the loose ball. He was always one step behind. He looked tired tonight. He looked like there's been a lot on his shoulders. It's a lot of stress. This is part of it. This is game 5. You got to figure out how to get through it. And again, these are learning curves for him. He's still young. He's 22 years old. He's just getting into this league. He's just starting to feel all of this pressure that's put on him. Tonight, I saw a tired Wemby. I saw a young, tired Wemby who couldn't figure it out, who had a game plan against OKC but just could not execute that game plan tonight. And again, he have to bounce back, and I think he will bounce back. But again, this is a learning curve for Wemby.
For me, I think what you both said, I totally agree. And the one thing I would have liked to have seen him do is just go into the post, and instead of just settling for the jump shot. And like you said, when you're tired, you know that when we're tired, we settle for the jump shot. And we saw a lot of that, which is letting them off the hook. The big picture is you're that close. You had a phenomenal game 4, bringing that energy to game 5 on the road. You have a big first 5 minutes of the game. This looks different. This building is quiet. You're kind of in the driver's seat, and that was not the case. Once Shea got going and Chet got going, you just didn't see him answer back, and
couldn't get a rhythm.
Yeah, I just
couldn't get but it's alarming because we watch film. They watch film religiously so much. Game 1, he 26 of 41 points was in the paint. 26 of 41 points of his points, not team, of his own personal points was in the paint.
But then remember in game 2 and 3, it was just 10 points in the paint. So we saw it go away. We've seen it before in the course of this series, almost like the decisions made to change exactly what the game plan is going to look like or the way that it's executed on the court.
I get that. But you still live in there.
Yeah.
You live in there because
he has an advantage.
You that's his advantage. Yeah. And what that does is it's opening up driving lanes for his teammates. Rebound off of second chance opportunities for him when they take their threes, their wide open threes. We didn't see that. And like Mel said, he was late to a lot of stuff tonight. Right. Altering shots, offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds. He was really like a second or two behind.
And even if he doesn't get 15 shots, him playing in the post, you have to
got to honor that.
You have to honor that, but your defense tends to shift towards him. He makes plays, getting guys open shots. It was good to see Champagnie kind of get going. Like you now, he doesn't have a great game. Wemby, now Champagnie, like imagine Wemby having a good game with that shooting, because I feel like him making shots opens up the floor, but Wemby never really got into the paint.
Well, you can't. Wemby had 8 points in the paint. We're talking about somebody who should be dominating the paint. So when you talk about Wemby only having 8 points, and they still dominated them with points in the paint. It was 46 to 38. So get down there, get aggressive, get dirty. These next couple games, especially 5, 6, and 7, these are dirty, grind-out games. And as a star, you have to go get it by any means necessary. It ain't no plays your coach going to tell you to do. It ain't no sets they going to put you in. You have to want it. You have to will your way through this. And Wemby got to find another gear going into game 6.
And he can't say that he's tired. We can't say that he looked tired, because on that other bench, what they did to SGA over there, they wore him down. But he found a way. He had at this point.
SGA responded, and it took SGA 5 games to figure this out. Okay, you're going to guard me right. You're going to send me right. I'm going to work on going right and getting to my spots
and got off the ball
and mimicking what I did what I do on the left-hand side of the court.
I think what Wemby is shying away from, like if he could play with his back towards the basket. Now, he doesn't have the strength. And I'm fine. Start on the block. Even if they push you out a few feet, you're still inside an area where you could operate one dribble to the basket. Or you're still in a really efficient area to where you could get your guy off balance and make a shot without having to take your dribble. So for me, it's just going back and watching film, his coach got to put him in those positions to really be successful, and he has to want that. He has to be extra aggressive. And when you're tired, the one thing you don't want to do is be out here trying to take guards or, these guys off the dribble, because they're going to have the low center of gravity get up under you. And
you're working harder.
Yeah, you're working too hard. You're going to be off balance. Like we saw a couple times, he lost the ball, and that's not what you want to be.
Mm-hmm. I got to ask you guys, since you brought up Wemby, he's 22 years old. He's playing in his first postseason. Y'all remember yours? Y'all remember what it felt like?
20. I do.
Were we extra tired? Did we feel like Wemby?
Well, I didn't get the.
We got swept.
I was a bench player. I came off the bench.
At 22, I think I probably won one game.
Oh, 22? At 22?
Our first, he's about our first one.
Yeah, your first.
I was 19 in my first one, 1920.
Yeah, my first one.
He said we got swept.
19,
You got
20,
some rest.
Man, my first one, boy. I was tired after the first game.
Oh,
Jeff Van Gundy somewhere laughing.
Why you ask that
That's what
question?
we're gonna make sure that we're staying, on level ground. Let them know what Wemby's going
that's what
through.
I'm saying.
We're
We
basically
ain't tired
teaching the
tonight.
world.
We're not tired tonight,
We
I'll tell you
never
that.
are tired. That's one thing we will never be. Another thing that OKC did not look tonight was tired at all. Mark Dagnall, their head coach, he's at the podium right now.
Hey, Mark, you said the other night that the global approach didn't benefit anybody. I wasn't sure at the time whether you meant the process or the results, but tonight it felt like you guys sort of recaptured this connectivity. How, I guess, is what I'm curious about, and what changed from tonight to the other night.
I mean, we obviously played a lot better in terms of our process, and then also, the outcome. But it's I don't know how it's a playoff series. It's, if you look at any playoff series that goes to 6 games at least, there's going to be some tough games, and we had a tough game the other night. This team does a great job of just coming back in the next day in a very neutral way, taking whatever the lessons are, applying them forward, but then getting ourselves into the next opportunity. I thought we did that really well tonight, obviously.
Yeah, Mark, Jared gets the start.
Sorry.
Jared gets the start tonight, and although his shot wasn't falling early, he seemed to give you guys some really good energy. First, is that what you were looking for by giving him the start? And then second, just talk about what it meant to you guys with the energy that he did give you.
Yeah, I mean, like I've said before, I'm not like crazy about who the starters are. It's just the first substitution. We just thought, he could give us some good stuff with that unit, just based on where we are right now with a couple of guys out. And he did. He was really good. His pop early was excellent. And he kept himself in the game, and had that flurry in the third and then the flurry again in the fourth. So great mental toughness. I never take it for granted when somebody steps into a role like that in a game like this, but certainly not surprised. He's got great moxie and confidence, and he showed that tonight.
Mark, Shea just said on the broadcast he thought that might have been the worst start he's had in a game. What did you think about kind of his all-around performance and the way that he was able to manage what was a pretty rough start for him?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that I always marvel at with him is his ability to course correct inside of a game. He usually doesn't go a full game struggling like that. He obviously didn't have his fastball early, but he stays so present. His confidence never wavers. He really has great trust in himself, and that was on display tonight. And then the other point I'll make is I thought our collective aggressiveness allowed us to absorb kind of some sloppiness. I mean, we had multiple sloppy plays tonight, including him, but not limited to him. But because we were so aggressive and because we were moving the ball so well, flying the ball up the floor, that allows you to absorb some of those mistakes and stay in rhythm despite that, and gives you the upside of some of the plays we were able to make. So I thought the approach was great. It allowed us to, like I said, absorb a rough start for him and the team. And then he was obviously brilliant after that start.
The coordination defensively, extremely loud in there, pressure situation, and it seemed like you guys were on a string so much of the game, specifically in the half court, taking away rolls to the rim and that kind of thing. What went into that?
Yeah, just execution. The most efficient shots are around the rim, and you try to take that away just naturally as a defense. The better job you do of that, the better defense you are. We know that, and we just try to get better than what we were defensively from last game, and we did okay with it.
Shea, Chet was aggressive early on in the first quarter and kind of kept you guys afloat. I know it's been a rough offensive series for him. I was wondering kind of what you thought he gave you guys on that end of the floor tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he was really good. Like, Chet has all the tools, and everybody in our building and the league knows that. He's a hell of a player. Like, as a player, you're gonna go through ups and downs. Like, I don't ever worry about Chet just because I know like how much he loves the game, how much he cares, and how much he works. Like, he'll figure it out, no matter what it looks like. Like, he'll get to it, and I'd bet on Chet 10 times out of 10, and he proved why I would bet on him tonight.
Shea, this win tonight felt like a championship response, a team that's won a championship. What did you see out of the guys around you, but what did you hope to bring to this one tonight after the way 4 went down?
I think we just learned from our mistakes. We learned from what we talked about as a group, and we just applied it tonight. I think that is the most important thing. Like, a series, especially against a good team, is like a chess match. Like, you go back and forth with adjustments and game plans and switching to things and trying new things. And I think like they obviously punched us really good in Game 4, and we got better than the team that played Game 4 for Game 5.
Justin and then Barry. Go ahead, Justin.
You mentioned that you trust Chet. You'll bet on him 10 times out of 10. I'd imagine you feel that way about a lot of the guys on this team, the whole group. Just what is it about these guys? Obviously, you've grown alongside them throughout the years. Just what is it about them that gives you the confidence that they can all respond the way they did tonight?
How hard they work. The intentions they have out there on the basketball court, and the type of teammates they are. Like, I know wholeheartedly everyone's intention on the basketball team is to win the game. No other agendas. Nobody cares about anything else besides winning. And everybody works their tail off to get to that and be the best version of themselves doing so. And yeah, like, when that's all you can ask from a teammate. That nothing else you can ask for. Work hard and give it your all to try to go out there and win. We have a group full of guys like that.
Shea, heard you on the broadcast walk-off interview say you felt like that was one of your worst starts. What do you think about the way that the team was able to withstand that, and how you responded once you were able to kind of steady yourself?
Yeah, the team was huge tonight, obviously. Someone just mentioned Chet was big to start the game. Obviously, the bench group came in, gave great minutes.
I mean, we made shots. I mean, we kind of just stuck to our game plan, playing physical. I think a lot of it was just the in-between game, the physicality, the playing faster, doing things like that.
You guys always try to stay even keel, but how did you see the opportunity that you all had tonight? How big was this opportunity tonight?
Yeah, just as big as Game 1, Game 2, Game 3, whatever it was. We attacked it with the same approach, 0-0 mindset, not reading the series, just trying to be the best us for the game that was happening.
So what part of that constant approach is most important with Game 6?
Just physicality and just staying who we are. We've been this team throughout the whole year. We're not going to shy away from the moment, regardless of what the game is, if it's Game 50 or if it's Game 2. We've been the same team throughout the whole year, and we've never shied away from the physicality that comes with it.
You mentioned physicality. There was a lot of talk about being the aggressor coming into tonight compared to what you all did in Game 4. How did you meet that moment?
I think we did a really good job. There's